that section in the community. All right. Well, it's the first week of June, the first Tuesday of the month. So, hi everyone, welcome to today's support hour. And I'm just looking at our community right now. Thank you for those who are joining us live, but at the same time, we also want to say hello to those who will be watching the recording of today's session, be it later in the day or a few days from now. All right. So today, actually this month, we're going to focus on specific sections of Growth Genie 360. You will be seeing that as we go along this month, like a deep dive of its section. And for today, we'll be looking into the conversations area inside Growth Genie 360, and more specifically, how it can help you manage customer communication without things getting scattered rather, without things getting scattered, buried, or sometimes even forgotten. Okay, so we've seen that for a lot of businesses, the problem usually isn't that people are not, the problem is not about people not reaching out to them, but it's that the messages, the communication are coming from so many different places. You can relate to this. Someone might send you a text message or call you or might reply to an email if you're also sending out kind of like newsletters, or if you have your email in your website or social media pages. And then a lead might call after hours, or another person might message through like your form in your website, or even write you a message in social media. So there's a lot of ways that customers can reach us now. And unfortunately, when all of those communication is spread across different places, it just gets messy, and it's difficult to keep track of who among these people or customers or lead have already been answered, who needs follow up, or what should be the next step for these contacts. Okay, so that's where the conversations section can be really useful. You probably have seen it. Very That's good, but we will be looking into more and give you tips on how you can actually explore and use that to its maximum potential. Okay, so the conversations area that gives you and your team one central place to view the customer communication. And this matters because a messy conversation can just quickly turn into a missed opportunity. And that's what we want to do today, help you create a better rhythm around customer communication. And we'll be able to see how really looking into your conversations area can help you respond faster. It helps you also become more organized. You also have a better context on each customer. And if you have a team, it can also help you make the handoff easier. And then there's also a way that you can turn replies into actual next steps through automation. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Maria, who will walk us through the demo and show what this looks like inside Growth Genie 360. Take it away, Maria.
Alrighty, thank you, Diana. Let me go ahead and share my screen.
Okay.
All right. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep, seeing it right now.
Okay, awesome. Alrighty, so today we are going to talk about conversations, like Diana said, about all the great features that we have in the conversations area of Growth Genie 360. And I'm gonna do a little demo to just kind of show you what happens there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open the conversations tab, which you can find on the left-hand side green menu. So you're gonna go right here. It's the third item, well, fourth item, because Ask AI is there. Fourth item down. Alrighty. So let me just show you. Here's a sample conversation, and the conversations area is kind of like your inbox for everything. In the message history area, you will see message like the history for all the communication that you've had with this specific client since you connected Growth Genie 360 to your email or to the various social media platforms that you use, and if you have a phone number, of course. So as you can see here, we have email records, and we also have text records. And if we had which we do, but I don't see any right now. If a Facebook like Messenger integrated, then messages from Facebook and Instagram, they would all show here. All right. That way you can see the history of the specific client or contact that you're talking to. Okay, so you can see like the recent activity when it comes to the client, if they're inside of any workflows, if they're in any opportunities right now. And then if you view right here is the recent activity. So no activities yet. So let's see if we can find an activity. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, Stephen Holden clicked on the trigger link that we set up for our email that we sent in February and in March. Alrighty, so you can see the history of the activity of what the client's been doing. If they clicked on any specific page on the website that has that is within Growth Genie 360. Also, if they submitted a form, if any action that you deem trackable activities, if they like that will appear right here on the activities tab. Alrighty, and then if we go back to the contact details at the very top, then we have the, let's see, let me go ahead and pick another one, see if I can, alrighty, there we go. Okay, so if you look up here, you'll see the contact details. It'll say owner, and it has my name on it because I'm the one who contacts the client more. This is an active client, and so I do support for them, and I'm the one in charge of that. If it was a lead, it would probably be a salesperson like Steven or something like that. And then of course, if we look at the little areas right here on the side, we can look at association. So if you have like multiple contacts from one company, it would show right here. Any opportunities, if this was like a current client and you're trying to sell something to them, if there would be like additional services or anything like that, the opportunities would show here. Any active tasks for this client will be right here. And then also right here, we have notes. So you can also put in internal notes for your clients inside of the platform. So if you have any specific notes that you want to share, like sometimes like a payment note, like maybe this client needs needs his invoices to go out, I don't know, like a month before instead of 2 weeks or something like that. That's happened to me before. And uh, that would show up right here. Okay. And we'll see any appointments as well. If you have any appointments coming up with this client, any type of documents, payments, if you use the payment platform, and any type of agent logs. And before we move forward, I do want to show you right here. This is your team inbox, and then you also have your personal inbox, which means email or correspondence between you and the client. And right here is everybody and the clients. So I can see other work, like if I was a manager, which I am set up here, I could see everybody else's communications with clients. All right, and this little like number right here, that means it hasn't been. It's like unread. I went and marked a bunch of them unread so that we can do this example, but if you are done viewing something, then you can just click it as mark as read right here. And of course, if you want to do like a bulk unread, you can go to actions and then mark as unread. You can also delete the conversations completely. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how to reply via SMS or email, and you can do it right on this platform. And that's why we recommend our clients, hey, if you're having communications with your with your customers, that you have a phone number inside of Growth Genie 360, because you can text them directly from the platform. And in order to do that, of course, you have to have an SMS number, and you have to have the A2P verified, and then you can text back and forth with your clients. And it's a great and handy way to keep track of every conversation you've had with the client. That way you're not using your salespeople personal phone numbers, and then you're not keeping track of what the conversation is about. So say the client said, well, I texted your salesperson and I said I wanted this and that, but in your records you don't have, you don't have that showing up. So you could, if you use the SMS feature inside of Gorgini 360, you can of course be able to see that conversation. Alrighty. So if I can show you right here, these are text messages right here that were part of like a test automation that went out. These right here, this one went out as well, as you can see. That's a text, and this is an email. So you can tell which ones are SMS and which ones are emails. And to send an SMS, of course, you go right here, and then if you use WhatsApp, which is pretty common for international clients, and you can also connect it. We don't really use WhatsApp as part of our business structure, but you can, which is really cool. And then of course, email right here. Alrighty. Now I'm going to show you how the filters work. Okay, so you actually can filter your team inbox. As you saw right here, we have unread, all, recent, and start. And start is kind of like how you would do on your regular inbox. Say, I have to get back to this person, or these are the most important like emails that need extra attention or something like that. Okay, so right here you have a little 3 lines at the top, as you can see right here, and it says filter. So we are going to filter some emails, all right? And I'm going to show you how to view any type of messages that need to be replied to, okay? So if you're a manager and you're trying to make sure that the people that you manage are emailing back the clients or responding back in a timely manner, you might want to take 5 or 10 minutes of your day in order to review this, and you can filter by last message direction and is inbound. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that the last message, the last text message, the last Facebook message, the last email came in from the client to the platform. Okay, now we're going to hit apply here on the side, and it's going to show me every client communication that hasn't been replied to. This is an internal worker, and Edwin right here sent this out, but it hasn't been replied. All right. So if this was a client and these clients hadn't been replied to, then you can, alert your the people that you manage. You can alert them to reply back. And I'm going to show you how to do a little automation that can just automate the follow-ups and all that stuff. All right. So now that we have the like a little list of people that have emailed us or messaged us back and we haven't replied to, our next step is to start creating some tags. All right. So this is how you keep yourself organized. We're going to go ahead and tag right here. This is where the tags are. And let me just go ahead. Actually, before we move forward, I'm going to show you right here the tags, and then of course the fields, and then D&D. I didn't show you the D&D area, but this is where you can see how your contact has decided to either not allow text messages. If they say, hey, I don't want text messages, but I want your emails, then they'll probably unsubscribe from your text messages. And right here you can see, and also the platform is not going to let you send a text message. It'll say, hey, they have the D&D on. All right. And of course, you can also enable it and disable it yourself, just in case the client's like, hey, like on a call, and then they're like, hey, can you disable text message? I don't want to get any text messages from you guys, just emails or something like that. Alrighty. And you can also do that with calls. So if they don't want you to call them, but they're okay with text messaging, which is my preferred way of communication, then they can like block call, like they can decide to block your calls, but still receive your text messages. All right. So let's go back to tags. So we're going to go ahead and say that, hey, I'm a manager and I'm working 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day to make sure that everybody's getting replied to. And so I go here and I filter by last incoming message was, they replied, but we didn't on our end. So I'm going to go ahead and tag them. And before we do that, I'm going to set up a little automation. So let's go ahead and open our automations tab. Alrighty. And you can set up a tag based on any type the conversation that you're having. So if it needs a follow-up from like a salesperson, if they're ready for support, or if they need some support from your support person, or if they're ready to book, or if they need a quote, you can set up different types of tags that like that you can create an automation for. So we're going to go ahead and create our first automation, start from scratch. Alrighty, and we're gonna go and do support needed. Alrighty, and so our trigger is going to be tag, and we are going to contact tag, add filters, and our tag is added. Oops, and we have to click our tag, and I did that yesterday too, but our tag is going to be support needed. Okay, we're going to add a new tag and we're going to save our trigger. And that's going to be our trigger. And what does that mean? That means whenever we add the tag support needed, there are a bunch of actions that are going to happen. So the next tag is going to be assign a task. Oh, well. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and look at actually, one of the things that you can do is assign to user. And so since I'm the support person, then I could pick myself from the list and have it be assigned to me. So because I am the support person, I deal with all the support items. So if a support request comes in, then it gets assigned automatically to me so that I can deal with the client and follow up with them. All right, the next item is going to be a task, and we're going to create a task. And it's going to be like, hey, this client needs support. And what happens is that I'll get an email telling me that this client needs support, and we can use our custom values to put in the client's name and also like a link to the conversation.
Wait,
Conversation tag.
Maria.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you check on your end if we are still live? For some reason, I got kicked out of the community and then
Oh
that's so
yeah, let me check.
weird. Yeah.
Oh,
And then it
that's weird.
it said that I requested like membership request and can you hi we're not sure, we're just checking right now if we're still live. That's good, but we just wanted to double check that we are still there.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see what's going on. And hopefully it'll let me enter let's see.
I'll show you while you are doing that. See,
Okay.
membership pending. I don't sorry.
That is
There you
so
go.
weird.
Yeah, it's weird. So I don't know, maybe just some stuff. But anyway, all of a sudden I'm not a member.
Let's see. It
Okay.
says
So
waiting for host. I'm checking. Yeah, I got stuck. It says waiting for host.
okay. So maybe you can see like membership approval request something in there.
Let me see. Let me go ahead.
We're
What
going
can you make me go ahead?
I will end this live stream and then let's just continue with the um
It's still
workflow.
showing that it's still
It's still
showing
showing?
that I'm live. Yeah, it's still showing that I'm live. It's just showing that they're waiting for a host. So I don't know if you want to make me the host. That way we can
Let's
not
try.
cut it off. Okay, and
Okay.
I'm looking to see if there's a membership request, which I actually don't even know where that would.
You are now the host of
Mm,
the Zoom meeting.
okay, let's see if that works. Mm, yeah, like I don't. Let's see. Let's see. It's connecting to stream. Let me go ahead and. Oh, okay, so we're back. Uh,
Okay.
yep, we're back. Okay, awesome. So what? Let's
That's good then.
figure that out after. But it looks like yeah,
Okay.
we are back.
As
That's
long
so
as we're
weird.
still live.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we are creating an automation, and our trigger is going to be adding a contact tag that's support needed, and then we assign it to the user. So if you have more support people, then you can kind of like alternate, or you can just assign it to your support person, which in this case would be me. And our next task is going to be adding a task, or sorry, our next step is going to be adding a task. And you can have all the information from the client, but basically it's like, hey, look at the request. I don't know, and reply ASAP. Okay. And then we're going to assign it to myself again, because I am the support person. And you can also do a little bit of like a dynamic. So if you have like a user and you have like a specific type of like value that says, hey, this user is like a support person within the company, you can do that. Okay, but in this type of situation, I'm going to assign it to myself. Alrighty. And then we save that. And then, oh, due date. Yeah, we definitely want to put in a due date. So let's go ahead and do a due date of 1 day. And we're going to skip weekends because we don't work over the weekend and we don't want to feel like we have to reply to a client over the weekend. But we do on this, we do if it's an emergency. So 1 day, we'll do 1 day, and then that'll be enough for us to respond to the client. And we're going to save that. Okay, so after that task has been assigned, what's going to happen is we are going to wait a day. All right, and this is a very good example of how the Growth Genie 360 platform is always evolving, because this looks a little bit different than it did last week when we were using the wait step. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wait for a set period of time. And let's do, I don't know, let's do a day. And then after that, we're going to remove our tag. So let's give it a day for your support person to reply to the client, but then we're going to remove that tag because we want to keep our area, like our contact area clean and without any unnecessary, tags. And you might need to mark the client as support needed eventually. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this really quick. And here's what's going to happen. Okay, let's go ahead and refresh the page. And this is Edwin, so it's okay. We can play around with it because it's internal. So we're going to go ahead and add this tag. Let's add a tag. And it's going to be support. At the very bottom. Okay, so let's go ahead and add that tag and apply. Alrighty, so let's go back to our automation and let's see what's going on there. Enrollment history. Okay, Edwin has been enrolled and I was assigned, let's go ahead and refresh because I should have been assigned as the contact owner. Oh, there you go. I was assigned as the contact owner and okay, so let's go ahead and see what's going on there. And I also have a task which should come up here, and there we go. So it added the task execution log so we can see, hey, it added the task. Okay, so we're going to look at the details and just kind of see like what's going on there. All righty. We can look at tasks over here. Task. Okay, it created a task for me. And this is fun. It shows you like a lot of like, so right here, if somebody else was looking at this, making sure that I'm getting my work done, they would be like, okay, Maria's assigned the task to reach out to the client and make sure that they get support needed. All right. And then you can set your settings to make sure that you get the task or the task notification either with email or phone number or just a notification inside of your Lead Connector app, or if you have notifications enabled here. You can also do that. Alrighty, some other example tags that you can use instead of the support needed are going to be the, what's it called? The needs follow-up. So if you need to follow them, so if you need a specific type of follow-up, maybe from like a salesperson, you can tag them needs follow-up and then assign it to your user and assign the task to your salesperson. If they're looking for a quote requested, and you see like an email or a text that says, "Hey, can you give me a quote for this?" Then you can tag it quote requested, and it goes to your salespeople, and you assign them a task to create a quote so that you can send that up out to the client. And then also ready to book. You can actually set it up to that if you put in a tag that says ready to book, it moves them from one stage of the like your funnel to like another stage of your up, your funnel, your sales funnel. All right. So lots of things that we can do. We can get to the specifics on your needs. If you have any like specific scenarios that you want help setting up, you can always reach out to us and we would be happy to help you set up something that works for your specific scenario. Alrighty. And let me go ahead and just kind of share some common mistakes that we want to teach you to avoid. And that is treating your conversations tab like a simple inbox instead of a follow-up hub. All right, your conversations tab has so much power. You can view all the conversations and all the contact that you've had with your client and also like the contact that your client has had with you. Don't treat it as a simple inbox. Treat it as your follow-up hub. We've talked about maybe taking 10 to 5, or sorry, 5 to 10 minutes of your day to view through the emails or the contacts that need to be replied to. This is such a good way for managers and even for yourself as an employee of the company to make sure that you're getting back to everybody. Okay, so number two is letting unread messages pile up. And that's why we recommend you again to look at it every day for just a few minutes, because if you let your unread messages pile up, then you can miss some great opportunities. Number two is not assigning ownership for replies. The little automation that we created assigns ownership. So if you're assigning it to a specific person, in this case, myself, then now it's my job to reply. You want to make sure that everybody has an assigned owner. That way, this owner is in charge of replying. Number four is not using tags or pipeline stages after important replies. All right. So using tags is very important so that you can make sure that your automations are executing in the right way. And of course, just make sure that you're tagging people appropriately. So if they have a certain service, then you can add the tag here, like, hey, they're a marketing client or they have a specific plan client, etc. And of course, number five would be missing opportunities from calls, text messages that come in after hours. You can create a lot of automations that notify you specifically of, like, maybe give you like a summary of everything that's coming after hours. But as a standard, the team conversations inbox will tell you if somebody has emailed you. And of course, you can also come in the morning and check right here to see if any emails or any text messages have come in after hours. Of course, a lot of us will reply after hours because this is small businesses and we're reaching out to people whenever we can to make sure that we're not losing on opportunities. But if you do have some type of like, hey, I can't really talk after 5, you can see who has emailed you after hours and you can reply first thing in the morning. Alrighty, so your best practice is going to be to create a daily rhythm for reviewing new replies, missed calls, and open conversations. That way you don't miss any opportunities coming your way. Alrighty, and that's all I have. Do we have any questions for today, Diana? Anything
Would you
else you want
like
me
to
to cover?
cover? Yeah, would you like to cover quickly the Lead Connector app? You mentioned it, but I think it's also good to know that this is also an
Yes.
active feature that they can, and especially since you have experience with actual replies with clients. So how do you use it in your day to day? I know you're there every day.
Yeah, yeah. So as part of my role here, I do have the Lead Connector app on, like always going. And my role is kind of like the type that I'm always like making sure that if something comes in through support, then I'm able to help the client after hours over the weekend. So I do have my Growth Genie 360 app, and I'm wondering if I can just log in to the Zoom really quick to kind of just show you guys what's going on
Okay.
here.
Wait for you then.
Let's.
So
Yeah, so go
the
ahead.
lead connector app is something that the team is mentioning during the onboarding. So most probably, if not all of you, our clients have that. If not, then make sure that you download the lead connector app in your phone because it you'll conversations probably will be the most used section, especially in the mobile phone.
Yeah. Alrighty, it's saying my phone is ready to go. Okay, so I'm in here and then just let me share what's going on here. And I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Alrighty. And then let me know if, okay, perfect. So this is really cool because you can, oops, yeah, you can share screens. Alrighty. So let me share my screen right here and let me show you this is what the Lead Connector app looks like, okay? So we're talking specifically about the Conversations tab, and the Conversations tab is right here. It is one of the options that you have at the very bottom menu, and here you can, it's, it's like a very condensed version of what you get on the desktop area, but you can still have all the features that are important, like making sure that you see your team inbox, your inbox of people who have messaged you, and of course, you have an internal chat if you need to chat with your team. You can also start a conversation, either send a new direct message or a new email or anything else. And then if you click on the client itself, you can see that you can reply via email. And then also, if you click this little button right here at the bottom, you can toggle between email and SMS. And that way you can text your clients as well. All right. And if you have multiple email or numbers, which we do, then you can pick whichever number you want to text your clients from. Alrighty. Another thing that you can do from the lead connector that you can also do from the desktop version is give them a call. I don't know if you guys see this little phone icon on the top right. It's a little like that makes it so that you can call your clients. And of course, the little envelope right next to it is so that you mark that conversation as read. And if you click on the three little dots that are right next to the little phone icon, you can look at create schedule, or I'm so sorry, create opportunities, schedule appointments, and show the activities so you can actually see the activities that or show the activities is what shows right there. So, and you can also add an internal comment and delete conversations. All right. So you do have a little bit more of a condensed version, but it is still like basically everything you need as someone running a small business. If you need it in, in your pocket. And it's pretty cool to be able to have that, like very available whenever you're not in the office. So you can also filter, as you can see right here. This is pretty cool. And you can show some quick filters that you saved. So if this is something that you're using all the time and you want to just use your quick filters, you can actually set them up as quick filters and save them. All right. And then, of course, you have all the little filters right here at the top. Yeah, so basically, and then also, of course, you see the little numbers right here. We show you like things haven't been, if something hasn't been read or anything like that, then it shows up right there at the on the side. And after you're done reading something, then you can mark it as read. Conversation has been marked as read. So hey, I already dealt with it. Mark it as read. It's not like outstanding anymore. Alrighty. Anything else I may have missed that you think I should also share? That's kind of like
No,
the breakdown of what it looks like.
we're good with that.
Awesome.
So thank you, Maria. And you could please take a look as well in the community if we have any questions coming in. And
Yes.
as Maria does that, hopefully, guys, this gave you a clear picture of how the conversations area can help you manage your customer communication, and it's just help you organize it. Okay, so um, yeah, when and I also want to emphasize what Maria has already mentioned, even a simple daily habit of checking the conversations area can already make a big difference because it can help you respond faster and then you see who needs to anything. and that will reduce missed opportunities. And on the side of the customer, it gives them a better experience. Okay, so let's
No,
take any
no
questions.
questions. I don't
No
see any
questions.
questions. Yep. So I
Okay, no
think we're
questions.
good.
Yeah, no questions coming in. But at the same time, don't worry because even after the live is done, we are the in the community, the video stays there, but for the outside or meaning the public access that we post in various social media accounts, if you are able to see the video and you have any questions, feel free to drop your questions and our team will answer those. And another note as we wrap up, we always say this: if you're watching the recording sometime after today and then you notice that what you're seeing on your screen looks a little different from what was shown, that's completely normal. The conversations tab has changed since we ourselves have started using it, because that's the thing about Grow Genie 360. It's an ever evolving platform. The system continues to improve and update features, layouts, and functionality to better support businesses. So while the exact buttons or options they may shift, the strategies and the systems that we covered today still apply. Okay, so thanks again for joining today's support hour. We'll see you again next time. And we're going to cover another like feature or another item that you can see in the menu. So that's all. Bye
Awesome.
everybody.
Bye.